Stephen Curry had one of the greatest Olympic moments of all time. Dude hit 4 clutch threes the final 2+ minutes to win a gold medal. Every time it looked like France was a threat, he put them to sleep. I literally made a video about Steph as a role player so far in the tournament, and right after that, he proved me wrong. So many fun comments from Warrior fans. So I learned a harsh lesson. Never doubt Steph Curry. But the US learned a lesson too. America ain't gonna dominate like before. It took everything they had to beat Serbia and France. But who is leading the US at the next Olympics? Well, to answer that, look at what happened in France. The leaders in points, rebounds, and assists were Steph Curry and LeBron, 36 and 39 years old. Kevin Durant had the biggest shot to beat Serbia, so who's gonna replace them? I want to look at the potential 2028 US squad and who their biggest rival will be, but even the Avengers almost lost. The US cruised through every game but was down 13 entering the fourth quarter against Nikola Jokic. Serbia had shot just 27% from deep the first 2 times that they played, but could not miss the first 3 quarters of the semifinal. So Steve Kerr leaned on his all-timers, playing LeBron, KD, Steph, Joel Embiid, plus Devin Booker for all but 8 seconds in the fourth quarter. All the old guys won this game. Steph was amazing, scoring 36 points, one shy of Carmelo Anthony's US record. But check this out. Serbia up 2 with over 2 minutes left. Get the board out to a wide open shooter who misses the 3. If that goes in, the US is in trouble. But Steph and Embiid hit shots, and Kevin Durant, the dagger. This was Serbia's best chance to win gold, and they blew it, going 0 for 10 from 3 in the fourth quarter. They are not the biggest threat going forward. I mean, where do you think Nikola Jokic is going to be in 4 years? Did you see him partying after the bronze? This ain't exactly a physical specimen like LeBron over here. No, the biggest threat is France. Since the embarrassing loss in 2004, the US has gone 36-1 at the Olympics. The only loss? To France in pool play during the Tokyo Games. And in case you didn't notice, 5 French players were taken in the NBA draft lottery the last 2 years, including back-to-back #1 picks. Next year, they have another projected lottery pick in a stacked draft. And for some reason, they didn't even bring any of those super young guys, except for Victor Wembanyama. But in 2028, he could be the best player in the world with a lot of young elite backup. One guy they're not gonna have is Rudy Gobert. NBA players roasted him throughout the tournament as usual. Shaq said he would be working at Walmart if he wasn't 7'1", and apparently the French coach agreed, because he shockingly benched the 4-time Defensive Player of the Year before their semifinal over Canada. Gobert was embarrassed about this, knew he was gonna get clowned, so he told the media, "Oh, I had finger surgery before the game." And you would think his coach would back him up, but no. Vincent Collet said, "Well, Canada plays small ball. I wanted Wemby starting at the 5. It wasn't surgery. It was just a shake. I mean, he had an MRI to be sure he's okay, but he didn't have surgery." Just had to make sure. Rudy Gobert is lying. But honestly, that is a good thing, because Wemby is obviously the future. In the 2028 Olympics, he will be 24 years old. The perfect time to clean up his mistakes. And yes, I know Vic had 26 points in the gold medal game, but he was not good enough in the biggest moments. For example, France went on a run entering the fourth quarter, but Wemby missed a big 3 that killed their momentum. US scored on the other end. Then, another missed 3 with 6:48 to go and a missed free throw. This was the exact opposite of Steph, who got better in the biggest moments. Vic, though, will hit those shots 4 years from now. But if there is a round 3 in the gold medal game, a 3 match of France versus the USA, who is playing for America? Well, let's go back to that list of 2024 players and get rid of the old guys. So let's drop everyone above 30. Not that it's impossible for a 34-year-old to play, but I just don't trust Joel Embiid and Anthony Davis's long-term health, and Derek White is replaceable. That leaves us with 5 players and 7 open roster spots. So who fills the 7? Well, everyone's 2028 age will be on the right. Honestly, first player off the board for me, Ja Morant. I know it's already a guard-heavy team, but he is one of the best American players, and he'll be in the middle of his prime. Then Cooper Flagg, baby. Youngest guy on the team. Every roster needs a young guy, and we need two-way wings like Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, whatever. Next, obviously, Chet Holmgren. We need bigs, and can you imagine how fun the Wemby versus Chet rivalry will be on the Olympic stage? Next, Paolo Banchero, who's kind of like a wing, forward, big, whatever. Bottom line, he flipped from Italy to the USA and pissed off a lot of Italians, kind of like Joel Embiid did. So we owe it to him, and he's really good. Then another wing with Mikal Bridges, and two role players, because we need them, Walker Kessler and Josh Hart. So snubs include Donovan Mitchell, Jalen Brunson, De'Aaron Fox, and Trae Young. But there are too many guards. Like, who would you flip here? And Jaren Jackson Jr. and Jaylen Brown, obviously. But is that enough to win gold? Now, you might say yes. I mean, you got a lot of all-stars there. But who will close the games? Because one thing we saw in Paris is no matter how big of a favorite you are, winning is tough. And who did it for the USA this time? LeBron, Steph Curry, and Kevin Durant. Young guys who are not afraid of pressure. They would always calm down the game because they have been in huge spots winning championships. Which one of these young guys is going to have a LeBron, Steph, KD type resume by 2028? My money is on Anthony Edwards. I mean, I'm not saying he'll have multiple championships on the Timberwolves, but he'll be 27 years old in the middle of his prime, and he obviously has that Mamba DNA, not afraid to take the last shot. But you need more than one of those clutch guys. We just saw that here in Paris. Meanwhile, Wemby may be the best player in the world with legitimate backup. Like, imagine if in that semifinal, Nikola Jokic, best player in the world, right, was surrounded by high-level NBA talent in the Serbia game. It's a wrap. The US goes home. Now, in reality, at least one of the old guys is going to return for the US in 2028. And I know it sounds crazy, but like, how could LeBron turn down playing in his own backyard? He still looks like a top 10 player in the league. KD feels old because of his injuries, but he's got 2 years left on his son's contract. All he would need to do is sign a 2-year extension, and he's still playing in 2028. Anthony Davis somehow has flipped the narrative about himself. Not only was he amazing at the Olympics, he has been healthy and dominant. I think ever since he stopped trying to be a shooter and just dominate in the paint, everything changed. But it is clear that the US is in trouble because they barely won gold with 3 of the greatest players of all time playing their butts off. But one guy who is headed overseas permanently is Patrick Beverley. He is done with the NBA. Now, he says it was all his choice, but all the signs say he is lying. Pat Bev actually got banned from the NBA.